What's going on, guys? Back again in the Passat. Today is a good day because I am going to be doing the Cambelt. It was last done, don't judge me, in 2017, and it's finally hit the 60,000 mark. Obviously it's been over the 4 to 5 years that it should have been done. I've been lucky with this, so don't you leave it that long. But yeah, let's get straight into it. This is the Cambelt kit I've bought. It's from Continental. I'll leave a link to this one. I'm pretty sure this is the right one because I asked on the page and they said it was all that. This is the one that you should use. It's closest to OEM. Let's inspect the belt so I can show you. I mean, it's not in the worst condition ever, but obviously they can snap at any point, so you don't want to risk what I've done, because last done 21st of the 10th, 17 at 137. It's now on 190, so yeah, I've hit everything really, so can't really risk it anymore. I've got the auxiliary belt and the belt for the aircon as well, because I need to replace the aircon and the start motor while I'm here. So first things first, we've got to get this whole front end off so we can put this into the service position, which obviously just brings this out a little bit so you've got more room to work on. I won't record me taking the front end off because obviously you've seen me do it all before. So after a lot of effing and Uing, finally got it off. I didn't put it in the service position because I've got other stuff I need to do on the car, like fixing. I've got a leak down here that needs to be sorted, but I've got it in a Zach service position. So here's the belt. That's what we're replacing today. I've got to take all these covers off, all these belts to get to it. So I'm going to crack on with that now. The fan has been removed. It was 4 bolts. Use my to do it. So that is free now. I'm going to take these belts off. Well, loosen the tension on them and then take the belts off. Just got to figure out how to do this one because I'm not too sure. Where the tensioner is, right here. I've undone this, and you just give it a little whack. I've got a new one to replace this, so it's no bother. And now I'll put that. This should come off. Ta-da! That's that one. Time to release the tension. 19mm. Push it down, take it off. Take a picture of how this goes because you might forget. One belt. This belt was on its way out. It is tracking all over the gaff. If my camera will focus. Got little hair cracks. There was one big crack. There's one there. So that was on its way out. I mean, for 9 years, it's not done a bad job. But I've got, I can replace this tensioner. I've got something to replace this tensioner. And obviously I've got the Cambelt and water pump kit. So we're going to get to the Cambelt now. All these belts are off. Thank God. So I think to get to the Cambelt, I need to take this, I think it's a hydraulic tensioner for the power steering and all that jazz. So this needs to come off because I need to get to this cover. Yeah, this is just 2 10mm, I'm pretty sure. And then this cover comes off, which shows me everything. And then we can get cracking with locking the, putting this to TDC and locking it all up. So let's crack on. There is a notch in the fan for you to get to this, so you can get it out without damaging this. So yeah, that's free now. I can actually move that. Just got to undo this. I think it's a 13, and then that will come out then, ready for the new one to go in. So let's get that out. Right. Finally, after work, I finally got the crank pulley off. To do it, I had this. So the pulley sits on there like that. You wrap it around wrap it down there like that, and you basically clamp it. This is actually a oil filter puller, but it works the same. And then you obviously pull it down there and then extract the bolt. Then 4 bolts there. However, mine were all very brittle for some reason, so I had to use this bolt extractor to get them out. So I won't be able to put this back on, but I'll still be able to do the timing, which is good. But yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, but I'm sure these ain't too expensive. Just bolts at the end of the day, innit? But at least they're out. At least I ain't got to do any really bad bolt extraction. They come out quite easy, but they were in there tight, so that's why I had to use that. After all that, we can finally get onto doing the timing. It's took a long time, but we're going places now. Take this cover off, and there she is. So now we got to find top dead center between the cam and the crank. We'll use the locking tools to lock them in place. I'll leave a link to everything that I've used in the description. So if you do need a locking tool, that is from Amazon. It'll do this job, probably do some others, but yeah, this is what I'm going to be using. Right, so I've got the crank locked in and the cam. This ain't going in all the way. I've tried everything. I've loosened these up, loosened the actual cam bolt. It's not going flush with it, but it is locked. It is in there enough. So now I just need to release the tension so I can get this belt off, and then we can put everything fresh on. So let's get on with that right now. And that is the cam belt off. And I'm not just saying this, but this doesn't look worn at all. There's no cracks. It looks like it's about a year old, if I'm honest. But I've never done it since I've owned it. It's been 5 years, so I know it ain't been done. But now it is. So I just undone the bolt and then released this with an Allen key 6mm. There we go. Jobs are good, and just gonna take this off now, like that. Hopefully I don't need to. Don't know if you need to replace these. I don't know if it comes with it, but if my one's got a bolt, I'll take this one out. If not, I'll just leave it in because it seems okay. But yeah, we'll take the water pump off now and this side of that. To make life easy, you've got to undo these bolts to get the belt off. So if you are going to be doing this, make sure this is loose, but obviously this is locked. This don't matter because when you put the new belt on, you can line it up, but this makes life easier to get the belt on and off. So make sure you do that when you're taking the belt off. And this is the money shot. Damn. Oh, this is a plastic one. The one I've got is metal. But I guess we'll see which one's better, either the metal or plastic. This one lasted 7 years. No, this one lasted 9 years. So let's see if the metal one lasts any longer. Oh, look, there's my thermostat. But there you go, that's inside the block. I've just got to clean all this up, and then hopefully it doesn't leak. Now it's time to put the new idler on. We need to clean up this surface area for the water pump to go in, and put a bit of grease around here because it's got a rubber seal, obviously to seal it, and put the tensioner on, and we'll tighten all these down to spec. 45, 45, and I think these are 10, but I'm going to double check and I'll get back to you. New water pump going on. It is a metal one, so it's different to my last one, but same principle. Pumps the water around, greased up the O-ring so it'll slip in there nicely. I'm just going to do that right now. Water pump is secured inside, all good. Now just the tensioner. So I finally got the belt on. It was a struggle. I had to basically basically the tensioner, I didn't put it in the hole straight away. I put it all on the edge, like all the way around on the edge, including tensioner, and then I pushed it all in together. It was very difficult, but I did do it. And then obviously I haven't put the right tension on yet because I need to pull this grenade, and when I do that, it should all go back into, well, this should be able to move then. I'm pretty sure. I've never done this before, so learning on the job. This needs to be 20 newton meters tight, and idler needs to be 45, and these need to be 25 also, or 20, I can't remember. But this, I'm pretty sure this is 25 and these are 25. So I'm just going to tighten all these up to spec and pull the grenade. Wait, let's pull it now actually. Let's see what happens. Oh. Okay. That was a bit anticlimactic. I thought it just... Never mind. Right, let's put an Allen 6mm in there. Move this tensioner over to... It needs to be bang in the middle of there. And I've got to tighten up while I do that. I forgot to video it, but you can see the marks. I did the full rotation of the car. 2 full rotations. And everything lined up. I've even started it up just to make sure, and it's a-okay. So now it's time to put all the covers back on, and then put the pulley back on, but I can't do that till my bolts come, so that'll be, I think they're coming tomorrow or the next day after, so I have to wait for that to be done before I can put the pulley back on. But the timing's done pretty much, so happy days. That's the main issue sorted. There we go, all the covers back on. Obviously I need to put the pulley on, but I can't do that because obviously the bolts, like I said. But that is how you do, well, how I've done the timing. You might see someone else do it different, but mine's worked the way I've done it, and I'm happy. So in here I have the new pulley bolts, so I can finally finish this. Once I've got this pulley on, it's just a case of whipping everything back on, fan, all the bolts, and yeah, and putting it all back together. So I'm gonna smash this on now. Remember, this can only go one way because of the bolts. They're not actually perfectly aligned, so there's only one way this can go on. So if you don't, if it doesn't go on the first time, it's probably because you ain't got the bolt holes lined up. So just make sure you have the bolt holes lined up and this will fit on perfect. So I'm just going to put that on now. So that is the crank pulley back on now. I put a bit of Loctite 243 on the threads and tighten them up to 25 newton meters. So they're in there nice and secure now. Now it's just a case of putting all this back on. And I've got to strip the aircon off, but that's in another video. So I'm just going to put the fan and that back on because that's not in my way. Also, these are meant to be replaced after every time. I know some people don't, but it's recommended to replace them. Right, I've got the new tensioner on for the serpentine belt. 19. Spin it down. Oh, that's tight. Right, I'm just going to do this with my other hand because I'm not very strong with my left hand. So I'm just going to spin this down, and then you'll be able to put the belt on the other end. Once you've done that, you should have something that looks a bit like this. I've always, well, I don't always, but I read a line to make sure the writing's facing you. Same with the Cambelt. You might not be able to see it, guys. But we'll be writing on it. Just make sure that it's facing you, because that's how it was when I took it off. So I'm guessing that's how it needs to be. So just make sure that's all the writing's facing. Now it's time to put all the engine back, all the front end back together, and hopefully it all goes back all right. I'm not going to do that yet because I've still got to do the starter motor on the AC. So this is where I'm going to end this video. So I hope it helped in some way. If not, fair enough. I guess if you give me a like, leave a comment, See it, tell me if I've done anything wrong. If not, yeah, give me a little subscribe as well. I appreciate that. And I guess I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.